Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumukontra. Kasi pag maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administrasyon ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi pagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabati ko yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap, yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang darating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, pagkaisa tayo, isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magyabang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din, guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa, tayong lahat magtutulungan.
Palma. Oh. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. Janelle Fuentes. Oh, wow. Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point. Oh my goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Natalviano has time.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness!
For the 5th time this season, we travel to the City of Life, Binyan, Laguna. And Binyan will seek their 4th straight win at home dito po sa Alonte Sports Arena. And they've been really impressive with a 3-1 record, talking about tong Binyan Tatakjel. But first, we have two teams trying to bounce back from their respective losses. Marikina, they had that breakthrough win against Quezon City, kaya lang natapa sila last week. Itong Bataan naman, 3 straight wins, but a tough loss in Pangasinan against the Abra Weavers. And it's Marikina taking on Bataan in our first game, followed by Mindoro, kalaban ang Davao Occidental Tigers. And then to cap things off, Binyan will defend their home floor against Pasig City. Magandang hapon mga kaliga, Ken Pangalinan with Javi Palanya, and at courtside we have Miss Sydney Crespo. And Javi, medyo similar yung situation yesterday in which we have sub 500 teams playing And kailangan nila ng panalo to improve their team standings.
Correct, and this is a good opportunity for them to move up in the team standings. But Marikina is the least favored team here against Bataan. Obviously, talent-wise and in terms of their roster, Bataan has the better talent. But Marikina, they are a team that's always up for a challenge. We've seen that through the years. So meron naman silang chance dito if they can play well and they can play hard.
Of course, you could watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. And live din po tayo on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Simula po yan at 6 p.m. And yesterday, we were at the Paco Arena in Manila and we were treated to 3 hard competitive games. Nakita natin Bacolod, impressive against Parañaque, Rizal, holding off Cebu. And then what about Imos, that big fourth quarter against Val City?
Yeah, the Val City Magic we thought was going to get a victory yesterday, but the Amos Brotherhood really holding through in the second half, earning that victory on neutral grounds. And you're right, Ken, it was a treat because all 3 games, even though the final scores weren't really that close, it was a highly competitive game all throughout.
And big games from Quint Aguiar and Mike Cañete for their respective squads. And now let's talk about the Marikina Shoe Masters. And we mentioned how they were able to snap their 8-game losing skid against Quezon City. But here, kalaban nila, itong Mindoro, they weren't able to find their groove, especially in the second half.
Well, it was actually close in the first half, especially in the first quarter. They were only down by 2 points, down by 7 at the half. But that third quarter made the difference. They were outscored 20-32 in that third frame. If you look at the numbers here, they were badly outshot here. Mindoro did a good well from the field, 51.5%. Although Marikina had more attempts, it was really a very efficient night for the Tamaraos, who had 6 players in double figures. And they have to be able to have some shot makers come through tonight, particularly Nem De La Cruz, Jetro Escoto, and the other guys to have a good chance of getting a victory here against Bataan.
Playing under a new coach, itong Marikina, and they have a tall order in front of them taking on the One Bataan Risers na kamakailan din, nadapa sila last week in Pangasinan. But this game against Abra, it did not really reflect, no. The final score was a 22-point win by Abra, but this was really close up until the early stages of the fourth quarter.
You're right. They were riding high on a 3-game winning streak. They had a lot of confidence coming in. They were able to keep in step in the first half. But in the third quarter, bridging the fourth period, dun talaga sila hindi na nakaalagwa because it was really their shot making and their rebounding that was the problem in this game. Only shot 31.6% to Abra's 43.8%, and they got badly out-rebounded 62-43. And for a tall team like Bataan, that's something that is not much of an excuse. You have to be able to get those rebounds, those 50-50 balls, because the strength of these Bataan Risers is in the open floor, especially when Robbie Darang is the one pushing that basketball. And in that game, Ives Sazon, Robbie Darang, Mitchell Maynes, all of those guys only scored 7 points. Ives Sazon was 1 out of 11 from the field in that game.
And both of these teams, nice bumawi ngayong laro. This triple header ngayong Wednesday. Ito, let's go with Richard Tampos for the starters between Marikina and Bataan.
A blessed afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7 at Alonte Sports Arena, Binyan City, Laguna. Our first match will be Marikina versus Bataan. And to begin with, here's the starting 5 for Marikina Shoe Masters. At forward number 1, Mike Mashun. Center number 4, Carl Peñano. Small forward number 22, R.R. Casajeros. At guard number 77, Jetro Escoto. The other guard number 31, Nem De La Cruz. The Shoe Masters is led by Angelo Nebres. Assistant coaches Joseph Ochada, John Paul Basilan, Bernardo Bunyag, and Ray Mendoza. The team managers AJC and Monroe Quesson. Starting for One Bataan Risers, Kamaya Coast. Coming in at center number 27, Chris Javier. Forward number 14, Alex Ramos. The other forward number 12, Dante Pagyo. Two guard number 9, Jeff Santos. Point guard number 1, Robbie Darang. One Bataan Risers is led by Gudi Ilagan, assisted by Ogie Gumatay, Arvin Quinto, Paul De La Cruz, Rene Paina, Louis Cortina, Marvin Molines, Erwin Lozada, Frederick Francisco, Jonas
45 brought to you
Guillao.
by OneXBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with OneXBet. Laban ng Marikina at Bataan for the Shoemasters, Jetro Escoto, Nem de la Cruz, Carl Peñano, R.R. Caseros, and Mike Machon. For the Risers, Robbie Darang, Jeff Santos, Chris Javier, Dante Pagyo, and Alex Ramos. And for Bataan, they will be led again by Coach Ogie Gumatay. Sa palit naman ng Marikina, you have Coach Angelo Nebres. And these two squads are in the North Division and very important for them, especially with Bataan, no? Because they are just lagging behind in that top 8.
They're currently number 9 right now behind the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys.
We'll pause for a break. We'll be back after this.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, para sa 100% pagbabago, para sa 100% paglilingkod, para sa 100% Pinas.
50 tayo! 50 si MP! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Para sa atlitang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Alright, the reason for that brief lull because Team Hoppers had to sweep the floor. Medyo madulas for the players. But all has been sorted out as we begin here in Alonte Sports Arena with Marikina and Bataan. Bataan getting the first possession.
Dante Pagyo stepping into the starting lineup for Bataan for this game. Pagyo only played less than 2 minutes in that game against Abra. He starts in place of Mitchell Maynes. Well, let's see how Pagyo can affect this game early on para dito sa Bataan Risers. While it's almost the same starting lineup para sa Marikina Shoemasters here. Veteran 5 on the floor.
Escoto was able to knock down a pair of threes to begin that game against Mindoro. Let's see if he could pick up from where he left off. Mike Machon, one of the veterans para dito sa Shoemasters. Nem de la Cruz, pinapantay ni Robbie Darang. He attacks, great pass inside. Carl Peñano scores.
That's the maturity that we've been seeing from Nem de la Cruz this season. Thrust into a much more heavier role para dito sa koponan ng Marikina. He has evolved not just being a scorer but also knowing when to facilitate for his teammates.
Chris Javier with a putback.
Chris Javier had a long night against the Abra Weavers in their last game. He did have 8 points but was only able to manage 2 rebounds against that really long, athletic front line of the Abra Solid North Weavers.
Oh yeah, very experienced as well. Marky, part of that. Raven Gonzalez, yun yung kanilang young stud for Abra. As we see Casajeros bank in a long 2-pointer.
One of the longest tenured players, if not the longest tenured player here for the Marikina Shoemasters. Ito si RR Casajeros.
Robbie Darang. The show by Machon, just enough to force a turnover.
And you see right away Coach Ogie Gumatay standing up from his seat on that sideline. But we'll see first this pass by Nem de la Cruz.
This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
We saw Coach Ogie Gumatay rising from his chair right away after that turnover by Robbie Darang. Alam naman natin that during his playing days, Coach Ogie Gumatay was a really great point guard, played for the UP Fighting Maroons, and that's why Robbie Darang very lucky to be under his tutelage.
Pinaka-naalala ko si Coach Ogie sa PBL eh.
Yes.
Diba?
Ano nga ba yung mga teams na linaroan niya nun?
I have to recall. But as we see here, Escoto knocked down a 3. It's an early 5-point lead for Marikina. Chowking ba? Hindi ko maalala eh. I have to research that again. But yun nga eh, Ogie Gumatay, of course, apart from his stint with UP, as we see here, Chris Javier, binawi yung 3.
I'm still waiting for the time in this season that Chris Javier finally gets on rhythm. This guy is a legit double-double machine, but just really could not find the avenue to do so yet.
He's one of the key additions during the off-season para dito sa Bataan, along with guys like Hubert Cani in there. 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
And Jetro Escoto knocking that from top of the circle, just like the way he started in their last game.
Javier tried for another 3. Running start for Nem de la Cruz. That bank shot won't work.
Eh, medyo nagdalawang isip siya dun. He stepped on the brakes right away, and I think napaaga yung gather niya. That's why he missed that shot.
Good interior passing. Ramos setting up Chris Javier.
That's great feet work from the big man, Chris Javier, showing exemplary patience inside.
Second deadlock of the ball game. Carl Peñano. That was rejected by Chris Javier.
This just might be the game that Chris Javier finally gets his mojo back. He's showing great play early on. And the rest of the Bataan Risers also getting that energy. That's Jeff Santos knocking it down from deep corner. You see here Robbie Darang seeing the floor. And that's just a lot of space for a shooter like Jeff Santos.
And an 8-0 run by the Risers as they take a 3-point lead, 10-7.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Meanwhile, we have a report coming from Ms. Sydney Crespo.
After 10 games, the Marikina Shoemasters have listed down the realizations this season, one of which is the need for another go-to scorer, especially in situations where Nem de la Cruz is contained. For new head coach Angelo Nebres, the solution is to open up opportunities for others. He is committed to giving more minutes to different players and finding scoring contributions. Coach Angelo believes that Marikina can become a different team if they allow more players to step up and prove themselves. After all, that has always been part of Marikina's core identity mentality, developing talent and giving players the platform to shine, just like Ives Sazon who has carved out his own path in the league after Marikina. Ngayong araw, takbuhan ulit para sa Marikina. Ganyan din daw na experience nila sa Mindoro, but they need better defense this time. Ken, Javi?
Maraming salamat, Sid. And you have to wonder who could really step up here for the Marikina Shoemasters. But we're seeing like ito si Jetro Escoto, I think in the past couple of games, really looking for a shot like this one. But Nem De La Cruz, he's their leading scorer. But alam mong pag na-check, medyo hirap talaga sila sa pagpuntos eh.
Well, obviously, Mike Machon is there. He's their second leading scorer. Junel Bauzon is the third guy who's also averaging in double figures, but I don't think he's in the lineup for this game. There are other guys in this roster that are potential producers for this Marikina squad. Carlo Velasco, Jomel Landayan has also showed a lot of promise at the point guard spot. Also, one of the longest tenured players, R. Casajeros, is also one guy who can put on the points para sa Marikina.
Robbie Darang gets it back. Crisp passing leads to that inside hand layup by Jeff Santos.
So the Risers showing great teamwork here early on in this game. Looking for the open man, not forcing anything and getting everything within the flow of the offense. I'm sure Coach Ogie Gumata is very happy with the way his team is running the offense here in the first.
13-2 run by Bataan as they establish a 6-point lead. Jeff Santos was the best player in their game in Orion against Bulacan. Here he is. Gives it back out to Robbie Darang for free. Good.
Once again, patient offense. They did not force the fast break. They did get an outlet pass to Dante Baguio, but it slipped from his hand, so he pulled it out, gave it back to his point guard, and let Robbie Darang do the rest.
RR, flip shot, no. Tiburcio gets the board. Inside De La Cruz, left it short. Bataan in transition.
That's a foul.
And both of them were airborne when they collided.
A good foul though given up by Casajeros. That's just one way for him to stop that fast break.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
Jeff Santos had the 8 points in their last game.
This is Chris Xavier catching that pass. Oh, he traveled. Bola babalik sa Marikina. Coach Ogie Gumatay. And shout out to Boss Goody. I'm sure he's watching this game. When William Bing comes in for Dante Baguio.
So this is a very tall front line coming in for the Bataan Risers off the bench.
Yeah. We have Kapulong, Gabawan, and Yambing. Still joined by the starters, Santos and Robbie Darang. So we haven't seen Ives Sazon yet as a traveling whistle against Julius Tiburcio.
Could have been a good play for Marikina. Peñano giving it up to Tiburcio, and Tiburcio had a nifty escape, just could not finish.
Down low they go to Lawrence Kapulong. Inside, Jamil Gabawan scores.
One problem, obviously, aside from the lack of scorers for the Marikina Shoemasters this season, has been their rim protection. Even though there were a lot of white shirts in the shaded area that time, Jamil Gabawan, all he had to do was maneuver his way with his feet. Nice footwork coming from the big man for the 2 points.
Bataan really shooting well at the moment. Oh my goodness, out of nowhere.
It's been a while since I've seen an alley-oop finished with a flush. I think that's the first this season.
That was a long pass. Impressive from Bataan.
Nobody else on this Bataan team could finish a fast break like that better than Rin William Bing.
He's the most athletic guy, I believe, on this roster. And we've seen that from him in the past. Nice to see that he's doing it again in this game.
Gixer, great move of the game. Born for greatness. What about this one?
And Robbie Darang, give him a lot of credit once again for seeing the floor well. That's poetry in motion. The pass, the catch, and the flush. 2 hands for safety para dito kay Rin William Bing.
Cleared for takeoff, Rin William Bing. And Bataan continues to pour it on. They now lead by double digits. It's now 22-9. We'll pause for a break. Next games of Bataan on the 14th, laban sa Pasig City, 19 naman kontra sa Ilagan. On the 27th, they will take on Rizal.
Well, that next match is going to be very interesting considering that Pasig was the former team of Coach Augie Gumatay when he was still an assistant for Coach Boyd Fernandez a few seasons ago.
Yeah. Sazon, kakapasok lang. Tres agad ang pinakawalan.
I'm sure a shooter like Yves Sazon, who was 1 out of 11 from the field in that game against Abra, wants nothing more than to have a good bounce-back game offensively here against Marikina. Especially, this is his former squad. A squad wherein he made a name for himself as the league's leading scorer. That duo with Enzo Hoson was one of the most lethal backcourt combinations during their time.
Yeah, he enjoyed his best scoring average of 19.4 points when he was playing for Marikina in Season 4. Playing under Coach Elvis Tolentino during that time. Hubert Cani, pocket pass, Jamil Gabawan. Oh! Yambing again! Gustong niya naging yung ring. Meanwhile, Landayan, bank shot no. Tiburcio, puwersa. Wala pa din.
Gusto ko na malaman kung ano nakain ng breakfast at lunch ni Rin William Bing. Yun ang kakainin ko everyday.
Ito si Gabawan. Tres, wala. He could really jump out of a gym. Ito si Rin William Bing. Meanwhile, Marikina just struggling to put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, they're shooting 4 out of 14 from the field to Bataan's 10 out of 15. Below 30% ang Marikina while Bataan is at 66%.
Kamakailan lang lamang ang Marikina, 7-2. Since then, a 23-2 run by Bataan.
I'm sure they addressed their low field goal shooting percentage in their upcoming practices leading to this game. After shooting 31.6% against the Abra Weavers, that was one of the main problems as to why they weren't able to make a game out of it in the second half. They were practically in it most of the time, but come the third quarter and the fourth period, talagang nahirapan sila makakuha ng tira.
So the numbers from Kapulong, who did his damage in the entire second half.
He was one of two guys who scored in double figures and one of the few guys who had a decent percentage from the field, 12.6 out of 11. He also had 11 rebounds. Ito si JL Kapulong.
38 seconds remaining here in the first period. Kapulong backing down Tiburcio, goes up strong. Tiburcio clears it for Marikina.
That's a gallant stand by Tiburcio, one-on-one post coverage against the bigger JL Kapulong.
Patrick De Mayuga gets fouled. Just the second team foul though against Bataan. Sideline inbound for Marikina. It's been a long drought for them here in the first quarter after a good start. Landayan Inside, that's a travel. Yeah.
They've been very strict with that and they've been very consistent calling that. Hindi nila pinapalampas yung ganyang move.
Last shot time for Bataan. Hubert Cani is in. Ginugulo ni Jomel Landayan. Marikina still has fouls to give here. But it's Bataan committing a foul, offensive foul called against Hubert Cani.
And the peskiness of Jomel Landayan gaining fruition there. Really bothering the bigger Hubert Cani and forcing a turnover, giving them a shot at the final possession in this quarter.
Time winding down here. Landayan steps back, gets blocked by Yambing. Still enough time though. He gets it in.
That just might count. Talk about resilience para dito kay Jomel Landayan. He gets his shot blocked here. That long arm of Renwell Yambing denying access. And then Landayan flips it up just in time.
Yeah.
That's gonna count clearly.
Malinaw na malinaw. 15-point lead. All right, Bataan with a lead here to begin quarter number 2. It's 26-11 kontra Marikina. As Marikina gains first crack at it in this quarter. Kita niyo yung field goal shooting, ha? Very stark contrast. Bataan shooting really well.
52% versus 27% respectively para sa Bataan and Marikina.
Sazon posting up, turns, Kapulong inside, gets blocked again by Tiburcio.
Tiburcio's been doing his part in trying to hold his ground in the interior against the bigs of the Bataan Risers. He's been doing a yeoman's job of trying to secure rebounds and protect the basket.
Coach Angelo Nebres and Coach Ogie Gumatay. Obviously, yung years of experience in favor of Coach Ogie, Coach Angelo is also one tough cookie. A young coach trying to lead tong Marikina as eto, possession will stay with Bataan. Sazon to trigger from the sideline. Gets it to the elbow. They try for that give and go action. Joshua Roque.
Dangerous pass.
Especially with the long arms of Renwell Yambing forcing that turnover.
A good thing Marikina keeps possession here.
Oh. Is it Marikina? Oh, bola nga naman. I think our referees will discuss kung kanino talaga yung bola. Yeah, because he was pointing to the direction of Bataan. So apparently it's Marikina basketball. Filona is in. He was denied, so Basco receives the pass. Landayan. Wild pass. And another turnover given up by Marikina.
A bit out of control there. Itong si Jomel Landayan on that drive to the basket. Could have went up for the shot himself. I think there was a lane there for him to try and sneak in. But Marikina committing their 6th turnover as if Sazon gets to the basket.
Galing nilang dalawa ni Jamil Gabawan sa ganyan eh.
Gabawan is one of the best in, if not the best, in executing those backdoor passes.
Not really a lot of scoring from Jamil, but he gets those rebounds, those assists.
He's Bataan's version of a Draymond Green.
Yes! Mismo. Joshua Roque pumukol sa tres. Malakas. Ito naman, ganda nung pasa. Rin William Bing!
I thought we were gonna see another slam, Ken.
Hindi ganda. Wow, about Rin William Bing playing with a lot of energy, a lot of force. Pero sabi ni Marlon Basco, basic na basic lang yung tres na yun.
Sabi niya rin that 3 is better than 2, but you know, back in his day, I've heard a lot of stories that Marlon Basco could really jump out of the gym too.
Nag-abot pa sila ni Coach Alan when he was coaching. Coach Alan Kaidig for Nepa. Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X-Pop Personal Karaoke Speaker. Everyday Karaoke. Quick pass.
Poor transition defense there for Marikina. Gabawan, one of the best at those grab-and-go situations. He just sees the floor just like a guard when he gets those boards. Kaya ang sarap rin na kalaro si Jamil Gabawan. If you're a guard, if you're a forward, just run the floor and he'll see you.
18-point lead for the Risers. Borjo catches. Dem De La Cruz has yet to find his offense here. Escoto puts the ball on the deck. At mapuputoan sila ng 24. Sa pailing si Coach Angelo Nembres. Nothing really happening sa opensiba nitong Marikina.
And there hasn't been a lot of intention as well in making their plays offensively. You just see them just trying to move that ball around, pero wala talaga nangyayari. They're not able to generate any movement from the defense of Bataan, and that's why it's been very easy as well as scoring inside para dito sa Bataan Risers. They're getting a lot of backdoor options. At that time, it was Rin William Bing.
Basta may sliver of opening na assume agad natin kaya niya isalpak. That's how talented and athletic to si Rin William Bing as Carl Peñano gets fouled.
Marikina might want to explore the option of getting into Carl Peñano more often at the block.
This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Once again, who delivered that pass? Jamil Gabawan. Already with 3 assists, if my count is right. All very spectacular deliveries.
Exactly his averages this season. 5.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, 3 assists for Jamil Gabawan. Here he is initiating offense. Sazol, quick free. That one in and out. Bola pupunta sa panig ng Marikina. Of course, after this one, meron tayong labanan in the South. Davao Occidental versus Mindoro. We have a challenge on that last out-of-bounds play. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
The challenge of one Bataan Risers Camayo Coast was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge by Coach Ogie. It's Marikina basketball.
That shot rimmed out, and Yambing had his hand on the basketball clearly from that replay.
Still an 18-point lead for Bataan. Under 7 minutes remaining. Kani picks Escoto's pocket, lays it up and in.
He just patiently waited for Escoto to go to that spin, and immediately yung kontra-tempo ni Escoto, ginamit niya against him. Going for that big pocket and going all the way to the cup. Hubert Cani, take a look at it again. Ayun oh, pagkaikot na pagkaikot, he was already there ready to get that basketball with the swipe and the finish with the right hand on the break.
22 na ang kalamangan dito. Actually 20, 36-16. Oh, Sazon inside, but he traveled.
He hasn't been able to follow up his first shot yet in this game. Ito si Yves Sazon had a 3-point shot earlier. Also, shot inside the paint on a pass by Jamil Gabawan, but has yet to score again from the outside.
Pasajeros back in. Guarded by Dom Vera. Pasajeros creates some separation. Dom Vera tried to save it. And it hit the baseline. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Marikina. Baseline inbound. Vasco for 3. Second three-pointer for the veteran.
Yeah, when you get to play at this level, at the age that Marlon Vasco is playing at right now, you really have to evolve your game, and that outside shooting has improved dramatically through the years para kay Marlon Vasco.
De La Cruz almost slammed it, but nonetheless 2 points.
And I'm sure that might have been his intention, but realized na baka mabitin siya, so sinigurado niya na lang. It's 2 points nonetheless.
Another steal. De La Cruz all the way. This lead down to 13.
Nice baseball pass by Carl Peñano, generating offense from their defense. Marikina has always been known as a good trapping team in the full court.
Yambing, 3-point shot, no. De La Cruz. No numbers, but he decides to pull up. And he's feeling it right now, draining a three-pointer.
The Shoemasters are on a big run right now, Ken. This is just a 10-point lead. Almost a 10-0 run.
Yeah. 20 yan kanina. Cani. Nabawi yung tres na yun.
Nice way to put some order back into Bataan's favor here.
Escoto, push shot, no. Bataan gets the basketball, approaching the 4-minute mark of quarter number 2. Hubert, no good. Running start for Casajeros. Great bounce pass, Peñano.
Ooh, everything but the shot.
Yeah. Dom Vera on the left side will settle things down for Bataan. Vera had 20 points in that win against Imus. Also 5 3-pointers. As you see, a foul whistled against Carl Peñano. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play. On the go speaker, take your music anywhere.
It's really quite a cardinal sin to try and bring the ball into the sideline, because once that double happens, it looks like you're getting triple teamed, because the sideline then becomes the ally of the defense, giving them little real estate yung opensa, and that's why that turnover happened for Bataan there on that last play, giving Marikina a shot on the break.
Piso-piso galing kay Rafi Octobre.
That's always been his shot. You leave him that wide open, it's more often than not going to be a conversion para kay Rafi.
Casajeros, his own mid-range jumper does not work. Darang puts it on the deck. Kick out, Vera, catch and shoot, free, good!
Very unselfish play galing kay Robbie Darang. He could have easily went up for the shot himself. He was already at the basket, but still decided to kick it out to his shooter. As a point guard, you want everybody on your team to be happy. And that time, he made Dom Vera happy at di naman siya pinahiya.
De La Cruz inside, flip shot. Won't work. There's a foul.
I think that's going to go against Chris Javier.
Just the second team foul though against Bataan. Inbound here from the baseline. Carl Peñano. Naagawan. Bataan may pagkakataon na maibalik sa 20 ang kalamangan dito. Robbie Darang. No look pass to Vera. Octobre. This time from downtown.
Yeah, if Bataan can be able to generate consistent performances from Rafi Octobre, Mitchell Maynes, these guys off the bench, this Bataan team could be very tough to stop.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Very quick first half. Bataan with a 21-point advantage. Darang. That time a miss. Robbie will reset their offense. Minute and 40 left here in the second period. This is Vera, who can't convert, and he gives up a foul. You would really love, as they're playing together right now on the floor, Dom Vera and Jeff Santos, they could find their stroke, especially when they go up against teams in the North Division, mga powerhouses dyan. That could really bode well para dito sa Bataan.
Makikita mo naman that almost every position they have very serviceable players, guys who have a lot of experience here in the league, guys who know how to win. It's a matter of piecing it together, how to be consistent. Might be just a matter of time before the Risers start getting on a roll here this season.
Ooh, Javier can catch the pass. Have a timeout by Marikina. And they're down big. It's 47-26 for Bataan.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MP! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Next 3 games of Marikina on the 16th versus the Bulacan Cuyas, still searching for their first win. On the 24th, Nueva Ecija, and to end the month of May, kalaban nila ang Imos. Just a quick shout out to Coco Abalos at ang tropang pop-up ng Bagong Baryo na nanonood ng labanang Marikina at Bataan. Marikina, they've managed to trim this deficit down to 10 points. Pero ito, I think it's an 11-0 run, no? For Bataan after
Correct.
that 10-0 run by Marikina.
It started with that three-pointer by Hubert Cani to answer the last three-pointer of the Marikina Showmasters, which also came from that guy, Nem de la Cruz. Out of the timeout, that's a good sign. You would want to try and finish this first half strong and not down by a lot.
First guy in double figures with 10. Now he gets a rebound.
This could be a 2-for-1 if they manage it right.
De La Cruz attacks. Kissinik off the glass and in.
Babalik pa sa kanilang bola dito.
Great clock management.
Oh no, it's not anymore pala.
Yeah.
Di na umabot. I thought there was still going to be 2 seconds left off of the game clock.
You never know. Bataan. Let's see if they manage this right. Darang. Octobre, thought about it. He attacks. Gets fouled by Mong Basco with the second remaining here in the first half. Rafi Octobre will choke to the line. Also played for Batangas and Caloocan to si Rafi Octobre. Special deal from OneXBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer.
One of the best stretch fours here in the league. Ito si Rafi Octobre. This guy, when he's hot, he is definitely hot.
7 points off the bench. The first half comes to a close. And Marikina having trouble with the firepower of Bataan. They briefly had the lead back in the first quarter, but it's been all the one Bataan Risers at the half. They lead by 18, 49-31 over Marikina.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Para sa atletang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Welcome back to the MPBL. My name is Sydney Crespo at kayo po ay nanunood ng aming game number 1 between Bataan Risers and Marikina Shoe Masters. And here at the half, kausapin muna natin si Attorney Gary Palmero, ang team manager ng Bataan Risers. Attorney, good afternoon. Attorney, no, galing kayo sa malaking challenge yung Abra game. I know na marami na kayong lessons dyan, kinuwento ng coaches kayo na at ng players. Pero kayo as a team manager, may sinabi ba kayo sa kanila after the game?
Pinagsabihan lang namin sila na good challenge yung Abra. Doon namin makikita, mag-gauge kung ano ba yung kakayanan namin, kung kaya ba namin pumasok ng playoff. So maganda siyang challenge. Nakita namin na hindi pa kami ready. Kaya nag-practice pa kami na mas maayos. Kaya hopefully mag-result na maganda tong game na to.
Well, ngayon, Attorney, maganda naman ang inyong first half. Labang kayo ng 18 points. Now, Attorney, may mga gusto ba kayong batiin o pasalamatan?
Yung mga LGU officers namin, binabati ko. Yung mga sponsors namin, Kamaya Coast, Kamaya Golf, Kamaya Airport, Las Casas. At binabati ko din yung family and relatives ng mga players namin, mga coaches. Yung team ko, yung Kamaya Legal, nandito sila. Pasalamat.
Alright, thank you also, Attorney Gary Palmero. That's it from our halftime interviews, mga kaliga. Magpuwelas magbabalik ang MPBL.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administration ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi ipagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabatikos yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang narating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo,
para sa 100% pag-unlad. 15 si Manny para sa 100% pagbabago. 15 si Manny para sa 100% paglilingkod. 15 si Manny para sa 100% Pinas.
50 tayo! 50 si MP! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our halftime score, 31 for the Marikina Shoemasters, 49 naman for the Bataan Risers as they take an 18-point lead at the half. And Marikina briefly had a 5-point lead. It was 7-2, but that 23-2 run proved to be the difference para dito sa Bataan.
Yeah, Bataan never looked back after that. They were blistering from the field, shooting 51%, 8 threes in that first half. Ken Marikina also did have a few threes, but the energy of the Bataan Risers, Ren William Bing coming off the bench and flushing it down off that great alley-oop pass by Robbie Darang. Everybody has been contributing para dito sa Bataan Risers, but it's been the turnovers that has been the problem. If there's gonna be any Waterloo that we will say about Bataan's game in the first half, they had 10 turnovers, which Marikina was able to convert it to 17 turnover points. That's one of the reasons why they were able to cut the lead down to 10 in that part of the second quarter. But for the Shoemasters, they have to be able to string together a consistent number of stops. Ang problema nila dito, when they start missing their defense, hindi rin gumagana eh.
As usual, it's Lem De La Cruz who's the lone guy in double figures for Marikina with 12 points. Bataan really well distributed yung kanilang production dito, no? Jeff Santos with 8, 7 points apiece for Rafi Octobre and Chris Javier, and Red William Bing with 6.
And aside from that, you also have a couple of guys who already have 5 points para dito sa Bataan Risers. Yves Sanzon has 5, Dom Vera also with, Hubert Canning with 5 points as well. Actually, halos lahat ng pinasok ni Coach Ogie Gumatay kanina nakascore except for Dante Pagyo and Alex Ramos.
Third quarter underway. Bataan with the first possession. Alex Ramos started this ball game for the Bataan Risers. Sends it to Robbie Darang. Inside, Chris Javier peeks at the clock, turns around. Oh, that's a good-looking stroke from Chris Javier.
Pretty jumper, that turnaround say by Chris Javier, making it look easy.
9 points for Chris. Di Mayuga bumps it inside to Carl Peñano.
Marikina has had some success with those kinds of plays. They drive to the basket and then they have two Bataan Risers helping and converging on them, which leaves usually the big man, which is Carl Peñano, open for an easy basket up close.
Jeff Santos nails a free.
He's having a good afternoon today. Ito si Jeff Santos already in double figures para dito sa Bataan. The first guy for the Risers to break the double-digit barrier.
The attack, Rafgo gets blocked.
Rafgo hasn't had a good afternoon compared to Jeff Santos. Go also missed a layup earlier in the first half, an easy one on the break, and was blocked earlier on the previous possession.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
You could see what Bataan is really trying to build here, that they're just not focusing on having Yves Sanzon be the focal point of the offense. They want everybody involved to make sure that they become unpredictable and hard to guard, especially against the best defenses of the league. And they know that they have a lot of weapons at gusto nilang i-maximize yung mga players nila in order for them to be successful. Yan ang tingin nila magiging formula para sila makakuha ng mas marami pang panalo dito sa ating season.
Pakasan Darang, papunta kay Ramos. Skips it to Rin William Bing. 3-point shot is well short.
Now that was an open look. Just could not graze iron. Ito si Rin William Bing. He's a capable 3-point shooter.
2 minutes gone by in the third. Still a 21-point advantage for Bataan. This one eerily similar to that game they had against Bulacan on their home floor. Di Mayuga, way off on that three-point attempt. But he gets the steal. Numbers here for Marikina, 4-on-1. Peñano. Oh, but Ramos able to bother that shot. And Marikina gives up a foul.
You could see the frustration all over that Marikina bench. Coach Angelo Nebres nasayangan din dun sa tira, but they're all trying to encourage Peñano as he troops back to the bench here.
LJR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
That shot earlier could have trimmed the lead back down to just 19 points.
Jeff Santos swings it to Robbie Darang. Robbie, bullet pass inside. Foul will be given up by Marikina as Ramos is down on the floor.
Might have been hit in the face on that shot attempt. I'm sure that wasn't intentional at all.
Baseline inbound for Bataan. Jeff Santos locates Yambing, gets pushed out of position by Nem de la Cruz. First foul by Nem de la Cruz. Might see his former teammate Poy Poy Actub play later on for Binyan. As Ramos no good on that shot. Ball loose.
Yeah, that's over and back.
Yeah. Because it was Yambing who touched it last before Robbie Darang tried to get it from the backcourt.
You could see when Marikina is pesky enough, they get to force some turnovers. They did force 10 turnovers in that first half. We talked about it during the halftime analysis that those 10 turnovers that Bataan had gave 17 points to Marikina in the first two quarters.
Raf goal. Nails a free. First 3 points, first field goal for Rafgo. Jeff Santos tries to answer. He knew it was short as soon as it left his hands.
But the problem for Marikina is everybody was expecting a rebound and most of the guys were already running back for a possible fast break.
Back-to-back misses from Jeff Santos. Third chance opportunity. Ramos gets it. Tapikan ng bola. Napunta kay Nem de la Cruz. Nasundutan ni Kapulong. Santos sasalaksak. Lays it up and in.
Gotta give a lot of credit to the big man, JL Kapulong. What a swipe on Nem de la Cruz. That could have been another Marikina fast break that could spark another run for the Shoemasters. Instead, Bataan restoring order once again to their side.
Jeff Santos with 13 points. He was also the leading scorer in their win against Bulacan. Yambing the rebound. 56-36. Jeff Santos on the right side. Balik kay Robbie Darang. Guarded by Escoto. Darang puts the move on. Open free, Jeff Santos.
He's missed his last two open looks.
Kapulong inside. The Bruce and the Deuce.
Working very hard in the interior. Dominating the glass there. JL Kapulong, alam niya wala siyang katapat dyan. And despite those misses, just getting back and getting that rebound, finishing those 2 points plus the foul.
Stuff inside, plays with a lot of force. Ito si JL Kapulong.
Now he's doing well from the free throw line this afternoon. Not usually a very good free throw shooter, but today, 4 out of 5. That's a very good number para sa kanya. You know, he gets fouled a lot.
That pass a bit off target. Turnover again against Marikina. Not much flow in their offense, itong Marikina.
You saw a lot of isolation plays, Nem de la Cruz trying to generate something. Hindi nga gumagalaw yung depensa ng Bataan, and that's been mainly the problem in this game for the Shoemasters. But each time they try to get within the flow of their offense, nakakakuha naman sila. Those drive and draws earlier, you saw when they get to the basket, they draw 2 defenders and then they drop it off to their big men. They've had a lot of success with that.
Kapulong catches. Goes inside. Almost lost it. Basco trying to bother him. Sazon. Just to be the shot block. No good. De La Cruz, forward pass. Casajeros, bounce pass inside. Tiburcio gets blocked by one of the leading shot blockers here in Jamil Gabawan. Darang. Ball over the backboard. As Vera falls down on the floor.
That Tiburcio is visibly frustrated. He thought that he was clipped on the wrist. That last attempt could have been a very nice fast break play para sa Marikina.
Let's listen in to Miss Sydney Crespo.
From the halftime, the Bataan coaches challenged their players to stay consistent in their defense in order to avoid a double-digit run again from Marikina. Paalala nga ni Coach Ogie, tandaan nyo, lumaban sa Pampanga yan as he emphasized the need for killer instinct and focus in this game, lalo na daw kay Nem de la Cruz. Coach Ogie wants a bounce-back win after Abra, and he said that's possible if we remove frustrations na unfortunately meron tayo last game and just remind ourselves of our role in this team. What do you think, Ken Javi?
Yeah, that's a nice little reminder, put things into perspective. And he was really aware that Marikina had that 10-0 run after they took a 20-point lead, talking about Bataan. Naibaba ng Marikina sa 10. And then also mentioning that dikit nga yung laban ng Marikina and Pampanga previously. Kanina pa yan si Tiburcio sa si Vera.
Yeah, these two guys have been going at it. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, this Marikina team over the years, this has always been their identity, a team that you cannot take for granted because alam mo lalaban to. Kahit sinong player ang nandun sa kanilang koponan, it doesn't matter if they don't have the talent, it doesn't matter if they don't have the big names. What's important is they will show what they can do. They will try their best to get a win every time. And this season, na-mention na nga kanina ni Coach Ogie, dumikit sila sa Pampanga. They only lost by 2 against Pampanga, by 3 to Val City, and just by 1 against Zamboanga. Their record, if you also count those games against Manila and Bacolod, which were also narrow losses, their record could easily have been 6-4, Ken.
Yeah.
And among the teams in the upper half of the Northern Division.
Another playing under a new coach, Coach Angelo Nebres. As this is a bit of a thorough review on that skirmish between Dom Vera and Julius Tiburcio. Referee Michael Kinay will go to Richard Tambos. And we'll listen in to the official verdict here. Kanina bumagsak si Vera and they had a collision earlier.
Foul on number 39, Jamil Gabawan is second. Technical foul on Marikina, number 6, Julius Tiburcio. Technical foul on one Bataan Risers, number 8, Dom Vera. Both were unsportsmanlike behavior.
Yep. Pretty much the obvious call.
Take a look at what happened. You see there Vera running into the screen that was set by Tiburcio, and after the whistle on the foul by Gabawan, ayun, Tiburcio hinanap si Dom Vera and may pasimpleng balikat na tama doon. And Vera having some words to say after that, but De La Cruz, who's at the line right now, could not convert on his first free throw.
Yeah, Marikina. Sorry, Bataan. Not yet in penalty. That was a shooting foul call against Gabawan. So, that free throw good by Nem de la Cruz. But lead still at 22 points. Hubert Cani. Gabawan, backdoor. Again, it's Gabawan and Sazon.
He's just so good at seeing where to put that basketball on those backdoor plays. I don't know any other big man in this league who is as good and who delivers that pass as often as Jamil Gabawan.
Free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. And Jamil Gabawan and Yves Sazon have really developed some sort of chemistry. You remember that game-winning triple by Yves Sazon? It was Jamil Gabawan who provided that screen. Oh, Casajeros is down. Grimacing in pain.
Right away holding on to his left knee. This is a good sign that he's up right away.
Tatalisod. Hindi man sadya. Actually,
siguro tumama na tuhod to tuhod.
Those two were former teammates, RR and Yves. And those two played well off each other when they were with Marikina together. To see Yves Sazon and RR Casajeros.
Correct. Casajeros was one of the guys who practically was available to anything that Coach Elvis Tolentino wanted him to do. If it was to start or come off the bench, he was going to deliver para sa Marikina, amply supporting that duo of Yves Sazon and Enzo Hoson.
Great cut by Jamil Gabawan. This lead extended to 25, 63-38.
Bataan just don't want to take their foot off the gas pedal dahil sinabi na nga ni Coach Hogie kanina, they are aware of the capabilities of this Marikina squad.
De La Cruz the rebound of that miss by Yves Sazon. Casajeros. Sablay yung kanyang tira. Babalik ang bola sa panig ng Marikina.
And that's what you love about Bataan's defense this afternoon. Honest, true, and disciplined.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Gabawan able to sneak in that layup.
Tough angle, but still managed to get the 2 points there on the break. One of the rare times you see Jamil Gabawan attempting for a shot himself.
Piñano at the post. Trying to carve out space. Gabawan standing his ground. Turnover again against Marikina. Sazon going right at Mong Basco. RR loads one up. Wild sequence. Bataan in transition. Gabawan. Oh, what a play there by the Risers. Cani setting up Jamil inside.
You just love ang swabe ng galawan ng lahat ng big man ng Bataan this afternoon. Ken, earlier you saw Chris Xavier, how he was moving with his feet. JL Capulong has been so impressive as well. And here Jamil Gabawan, what a nice finish.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig. Free installation for split type air conditioners. A 29-point lead erected here by Bataan.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Check out our fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. All smiles while watching this game between Marikina and Bataan. Later on, it's Mindoro. Katagpo nila ang Davao. That's a battle between two teams in the South Division na gusto ring makaangat in the team standings. And then to cap things off, Pasig City will visit and try to defeat Binyan on their home floor. Orpeñano swoops in and scores for Marikina. Just 40 points and we're almost done here in the third. Backdoor, Dom Vera off that gorgeous assist from Jamil Gabawan.
Gabawan's already got 4 assists in this game. I think that could have been more. Some of the passes that he made were leading to some fouls. Basco connecting from the outside. Still a long road to climb here para dito sa Marikina Shoemasters.
Kapulong. Si Gabawan naman nag-cut. Able to lay it up and in.
Returning the favor, I think it's about time that they give Jamil Gabawan the opportunity to also get some bread inside.
Look at those assists from Bataan. 23 of the 26 made field goals. Dom Vera almost. Sazon, the stick back.
You don't usually see Yves Sazon trailing the fast break. They're able to get the 2 points.
Jamil Gabawan snares his 6th rebound. Working on a triple-double to si Jamil Gabawan.
It's an extra step there. Ito si Chael Capulong. Tawang-tawa yung mga bench players ng Bataan because of that.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Si Carl Bringa, si Tutoy Ramirez, pati si Chris Javier. Inulit-ulit yung ginawa ni JL Capulong.
Joshua Roque, wala. Peñano spins, gets it in.
He's got to work on that spin to the right. He has to be able to expand his arsenal because it's already become very lagi na lang siya na check because everybody knows he's going left most of the time.
Steal. Time winding down. Third quarter comes to an end. And Bataan just relentless here. And pouring it on against a very wary Marikina squad. Highlights of the game brought to you by SIP Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Another dominant showing for the Risers here in the third quarter. They've eclipsed the 20-point barrier for the third straight period. They scored 26 in the first, 23 in the second, 26 in this quarter that just finished, only allowing 15 points for the Marikina Shoemasters.
It's a 30-point lead for the One Bataan Risers heading into the fourth quarter, 75-45. Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. And Marikina just having trouble dealing with the almost flawless execution nitong Bataan on both sides of the floor. In Bataan, a chance here to even out their record. And they struggled to begin the season. They were at 1.1-5. Joshua Roque nails a free, but they have won 3 of their last 4 games. Itong One Bataan Risers. And when you look at their games, Javi, mabibigat din kasi yung mga unang nakalaban nila eh.
Correct. They went up against Pangasinan first in their season opener. Lost to Gensan in their second game just by 3 points. They won against Cebu. That was their first victory of the season. And then, after that, Caloocan naman ang nakalaban nila. So talagang mabibigat yung una nilang nakalaban. They went up against Batangas City as well as San Juan right after that. So the strength of their schedule really immense. And they had to figure out a way to maneuver through that. But the lessons that they have learned from those losses, I'm sure na maidadala nila yun sa kanilang mga susunod na panalo. And this could be tools for them to use to gain momentum as the season moves forward. Mahaba pa ito, ang dami pang games na lalaroin ng Bataan. And it's only moving forward para sa kanila. It's only nothing but, nowhere to go but up for the Bataan Risers.
And much like you were mentioning, how Marikina could have easily been 6-4. Mas maganda rin sana yung record ng Bataan, especially that game against Batangas. You remember that? They were able to hold the Rum Masters scoreless for almost an entire quarter. And they were leading heading to the fourth. Nakahabol lang yung Batangas doon.
I think most of the time, if my memory serves me right, a lot of their close losses this season have really been because of their meltdown in the second half. If it's not both quarters, the third and the fourth, it's either one of them that really affects that game and makes them lose that certain match. Sometimes it's their turnovers, sometimes it's their lack of shot making. You have various guys struggling at certain moments. But here you could see it's been a great collective effort from everybody for Bataan this afternoon against Marikina. And their defense also has been impeccable today. I mentioned it already earlier. It's been good, honest, disciplined defense. They've been staying with every Marikina player and doing good of playing defense without fouling.
Jel Capulong. Same play, broken up though by Carl Peñano.
I also love how they've been exploring, really trying to hit the cutters here in this game.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of the lack of rim protection that Marikina doesn't have.
75-51. Jomel Landayan. He had a strong start to the season but has really struggled, especially in the last 3 games. Ito si Jomel Landayan. And he's been given more opportunities compared to seasons past for Marikina. Kasi dati, he was really probably the 3rd string guard for Coach Elvis Tolentino. As we see here, that free knocked down by Dante Pagio.
Finally, a basket para kay Dante Pagio. He started this game for Bataan but was pulled out midway through that first quarter. Talking about Jomel Landayan, well, you know, the struggle here in this league, the ultimate challenge is it's easy to find your way and see yourself play a string of nice games. The challenge really is to have that at a consistent basis from start to finish of the season, because it's such a long season. You're going to experience parts of the year wherein you're really going to struggle. So if you're Jomel Landayan, the challenge now is how are you going to respond to this? How are you going to bounce back?
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Jomel Landayan knocks down another free throw. We have a timeout on the floor requested by the Bataan Risers. But they're still in the driver's seat pretty much here. 27-point lead. We'll pause for break.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MP! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Bataan seeking another victory here at the expense of the Marikina Shoemasters. Currently 1-9. Lost their first 8 games, able to win against Quezon City, bouncing back, but lost their next game against Mindoro, who will play later on against the Davao Occidental Tigers.
Ooh.
How about Dante Pagio with his second 3-point shot?
Nice to see that he's been given the opportunity here in the fourth quarter.
Joshua Roque atake. Gets it back, gets it in. Joshua Roque played for Sarangani, no? Previously. 7 minutes to go here in the fourth. Jeff Santos, handoff, Dante Pagio. Pagio pulls up, gets it in.
He wanted a foul. He thought he was hit on the arm. Heat check still hot. Ito si Dante Pagio.
Escoto able to bury a 3-pointer.
That's a rare conversion galing kay Jetro Escoto in this game. Had a good start in the first quarter but was unable to follow it up anymore.
Robbie Darang. Pagio on the other side. Oh! The bank is open for Dante Pagio.
Just like that, 11 points para kay Dante Pagio.
Nakapag-deposito pa si Dante Pagio. 11 points, like you mentioned. Has played sparingly here for Bataan, but given the chance, he has delivered.
All those 11 points coming here in the fourth quarter, Ken. Pagio wants it again.
He's feeling it, and why not? All 14 of his points in this quarter, Javi?
That's crazy. Yep, all 14. Scoreless in the first half. Wasn't able to get any in the third. Kakapasok na lang ulit dito in our final frame. Everything here in the fourth quarter. All 14 of them. 3 triples para kay Dante Pagio.
Just 8 points shy of the record for most points in a quarter, and we still have a lot of time left. 5 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. We'll pause for break.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Dante Pagio, all 14 of his points coming in this quarter, and just last week, Orlan Wamar set the record for most points in a period with 22. And Dante Pagio has a chance to even that out or even beat it.
Let's see if this timeout has cooled him down. He's still in the game. And I'm sure Coach Ogie Umatay will let him finish this one out.
Oh, Chris Xavier joining the party with a 3.
Chris Xavier had an impressive first quarter. I think he had 7 in that opening frame to really help set the tone for Bataan.
So 5 guys in double figures for Bataan.
Ooh, yun pa yung namindis.
De La Cruz able to escape the defense of Darang. Goes right at Dante Pagio. Almost.
Ended up to be a good foul for Dante Pagio because De La Cruz is not really a very good free throw shooter. That's been one of the weak points of his game.
Yeah, coming into this matchup, shooting only 58.8% at the line. Ito si Nem De La Cruz. Oh, pinaltan na si Dante Pagio. De La Cruz at the line. The season high was 24 points established against Zamboanga earlier this season. 3 games with at least 20 points to si Nem de la Cruz. Ay pasok, parehong free throw. 32-point lead for Bataan. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Oh, sad. Dante Pag is not in the game anymore.
Kaya nga eh. Tignan natin I'm not sure if they're aware of the record.
Pero matagal pa naman ito. There's still 4 minutes. Might be still a chance to get him back into it.
But I'm pretty sure they're mostly concerned with getting a win and
Correct.
also here building some habits.
Exactly. That's been what I think that's been what they've been doing here all game long, really trying to focus on doing everything right, from executing their offense to playing defense in the half court. But that's certainly not what Coach Ogie Gamatay had envisioned for them to do.
Play the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Carl Peñano could be one of the guys that could step up, help Nem de la Cruz in scoring.
Especially he's been one of the main big men for Marikina these past few games, but only averaging 5.5 points per game. He has 15 in this game.
Ooh! And William Bing skying high for the lane.
Di na talaga tayo nabigyan ng isa pang dunk, no?
Baka mamaya. Pwede pa. May pang oras.
May oras pa naman.
Nem de la Cruz, good.
He's just very savvy from the mid-range. Ito si Nem de la Cruz. Kind of like a James Yap style yung kanyang tira, no?
Saktong-sakto.
Saktong-sakto, eh, no?
The style of play, like you said, the stroke. Gabawan inside, 2 points. And Bataan trying to get back into the playoffs. They missed the playoffs the past couple of seasons, season 5 and 6. Remember in season 4, they finished number 5 in the North Division and gave Pampanga all that they could handle there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that series, di ba? That was a well-fought series.
Oh! Come on! Come on!
Nandun na eh. De La Cruz. Vasco drives baseline. Gets fouled by Octobre.
Elmong Basco having himself a good individual game. Decent numbers of 9 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists. Still proving to everybody that as long as you take care of your body and you maintain that burning passion inside your heart for the game of basketball, you could still play at this level.
Vasco, pasok yung unang free throw.
Swabing-swabe pa rin yung bitaw eh.
Had some stops with Iloilo, Quezon City, Jensan, and Caloocan. Well-traveled. Si Bong Vasco. Papagtan siya dito ng isang manlalaro. Probably 20 years his junior in Raf Go. Amazing, no? How, the older generation stars, and then, the young guys meeting their idols, sometimes becoming their teammates.
I can say they're very lucky that they get that kind of opportunity.
Si Rafgo, he was a former Batang Gilas player. Ooh! Tapik, Yambing, saves it. Octobre, nilabas papunta kay Robbie Darang. As we are down to our last 2 minutes of the game. Alex Ramos inside. Tapikan ng bola, napunta kay Rafi Octobre. Bumalog yung tira. And Bataan, prior to their struggles in the recent seasons. They were one of the best teams, actually one of the OG teams that we've had here. Enjoyed the best record back in Season 2 in the North Division. See that shot by Rafgo off the mark.
And because they haven't been able to make the playoffs the past couple of years, they retooled, they've rebuilt. Previously, the face of this franchise was the Astro Boy, James Castro, who also chose to focus on his political career. And now this is quite a different squad with a lot of veteran presence, but also some very promising young players. You have JL Capulong, an up-and-coming guy in the front court. Alex Ramos, very serviceable big man. Rafi Octobre is a veteran in this league. Rin William Bing among one of the rising wing players. Dom Vera is also a good shooter. Then you have Jeff Santos. Of course, Ives Sazon has been a bona fide scorer in this league. And then you have Chris Javier and Hubert Cani come in to provide more firepower offensively. And also the leadership value that these two guys bring is very good para dito sa Bataan.
And you gotta love the offense generated by Bataan in this particular ball game, predicated on those off-ball cuts. And ang dami, no? Ang daming nakapag-contribute. A lot of guys in double figures. While for Marikina, again, it's back to the drawing board. New coach. Rafgo was fouled while taking a free. Former Letran Knight. It's 100-69 in favor of Bataan. 55 seconds remaining. And with this impending win, very important for Bataan, especially with Val City losing yesterday. They get some headway in our team standings because currently they are at number 9. And with this win, they will trail Ilagan only by half a game. And then creating some separation with Val City. Pasig City will play later on. Mabigat yung kalaban nila against Binyan.
And one thing we also have to mention here, Ken, is this game for the Risers, they've been so good offensively, very efficient. The passing has been impeccable. Almost everything within the flow of the offense. This is their best scoring game of the season.
Oh, yeah.
The highest output for Bataan before this game was, I believe, 89 points, and that was in their opener. Sorry, no, that's for Marikina. Let me check again for Bataan.
And probably the first time that they've eclipsed the century mark ng Bataan.
Their highest was 94 points against Imus.
And that really kickstart their winning run, no? And they're now have won 4 of their last 5 games, including this blowout victory against the Marikina Shoemasters. At maraming bumida para dito sa Bataan sa larong ito. Pero ito ang ating best player at atid sa atin yan ng 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
It was hard to decide because everybody really played well, but I think this guy was really the X factor in this game para sa Bataan Risers. Jamil Gabawan, excellent all-around performance para sa kanya sa laro na to. He had 12 points, 6 out of 8 from the field, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, plus a block. A little bit of everything for the homegrown big man of the Bataan Risers, Jamil Gabawan.
And here's our final score, 69 for the Marikina Shoemasters, 103 for the Bataan Risers. And Bataan will move up to 5 wins and 6 losses. Just half a game behind the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. And 5 guys scoring in double figures para dito sa Bataan. You saw guys chip in. Robbie Darang also had a great all-around game.
Only 3 points but had 12 assists.
Yeah, grabe. Meanwhile, let's go to Sid. She is with Jamil.
Thank you so much, Ken and Javi. Congratulations, Jamil, for being our best player of the game. Sabi nga nating panel kanina, almost perfect basketball para sa Bataan. Ikaw, you contributed in all departments, points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. Lahat binigay mo, all around ka in this game.
Siguro lang dahil sa nagagawa namin sa practice, talagang pinagandaan namin to. Nung sunod-sunod yung game namin, nag 1 day break lang kami. Then yung 3 days namin talagang hard kami sa practice. Kaya ito siguro yung resulta ng game namin.
Ayan nga ang resulta, no? Ang gandang bounce back win para sa inyo. Panalo kayo sa rebounds, sa second chance points. Lahat ng problema nyo last game, inayos nyo, hinigitan nyo pa.
Yun nga, siyempre natambangan kami ng braso. Yung mga pagkakamali namin, tinarabaho namin sa practice kaya ngayon nagbuo.
Jamil, sino gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Siyempre, papasalamat ako kay God sa panalo pinagay sa amin, sa wife ko, sa anak ko, sa mga magulang ko, sa Kamaya, kay Boss Goody, kay Sir Luis, kay Torny, at sa mga players din. Kung di dahil sa kanila, di ko naman makukuha.
Alright, thank you so much and congratulations once again, Jamil Gabawan, our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Up next, battle of the teams in the South, Mindoro Tamaraos. Kabakbakan ang Davao Occidental Tigers, kaya manatiling nakatutok dito sa Marikina Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administrasyon ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi ipagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabatikos yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang narating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo, isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magyabang kahit kanino. dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa. Tayong lahat magtutulungan.